All right. See, this is what I was trying to say. You know, the stuff, a lot of the stuff that he's saying is real, but it's just not in context. Okay, that's the problem. Like he talks about the problems and the fears that you should have, and they might be, you know, justifiable. He might have 15 different reports about the truth in these neutron bombs or face scanners or race specific bioweapons and all that stuff. But instead of trying to solve any particular problems or address any of the real concerns that people have, he goes to that. He goes to that well every day. He goes to that well just talking about all the things that they're going to do to you and all the things they got planned for you. All right, well, if this is their plan, what's your plan, Alex, in fighting them? What's your idea? Is what the people in Wisconsin part of the scheme to confuse people, or is that part of the solution? So he's not talking about that. He doesn't talk about any solutions. He just continues to fearmonger, all right, and make you live in fear. What is that? No, no. Why would he? Why would he? They can't get an electric car that runs for. Yes, they can. They have freaking electric cars that were good. Look at that freaking movie. Who killed the electric car? You know, what do you mean? It was what advancement? What are you talking about? Let me go into some things that he could be talking about. Let's go back into some stuff that he could be talking about. There's all types of like like if you want to bring up the fear of the technology that's out here, yeah, that's one thing, but there's a lot of technology that nobody knows about that's actually good for you. How come he doesn't promote that? No, they're not. See, that's the propaganda lie that they put out there that they're overpriced. And that's the oil industry making you think that electric cars are not impractical and improbable. They've already had them. They did real well for this for I think it was Chrysler, but because they did so well, they took all of the cars back, bought them all back from whoever got them, even though people that bought them wanted to keep them. They said, no, 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 give me that car back. And then they crushed them all and threw them in the garbage. Now, what if they were so useless, why would you say, yeah, we tried it. This is the example of how this shit don't work. Instead of that, they sent out a whole bunch of electric cars to people and let people lease them, right? But then after they proved that uh that electric cars could work and stuff, they said, you know what, this is not going to help the oil industry. So they bought all of the cars back from the people that they leased them to. They made them give the cars back. They even gave them money, all their money back and stuff. Even people, like, they gave them to like a lot of celebrities and stuff too. Like, and they bought them. They're like, look, I want to keep mine. I'll just buy it straight out. Just I got enough money. Let me keep my car. It was like, no, 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 no. You got to give us that car back. So then they took all those electric cars back and then they crushed them in a fucking compactor. Like, why would you do that? Like, if this shit is so, you know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? Now, it's a documentary on there. It's called "Who Killed the Electric Car." I've played it on here before. Look it up. It's you know, it tells the whole story. You know, so it's like we could have solar energy, wind energy, and all that stuff that'll wean us off of all this oil, but they don't want us to wean us off of it because they can't make as much money from solar energy. They can't be increasing your gas price like that. Like, there's magnetic engines and stuff like that. There's magnetic generators that work on the power of, like, you know, magnetic propulsion that can power a whole house. Do you see any information about that shit? No, because the industries have you locked down believing that this shit is not possible. What? We have tons of open space here in Cali. We don't have one charging unit on any roads or freeways out here, but you want to sell me metaphysics. I don't know about you sometimes. I don't know about you sometimes, metaphysics. I really don't. I really don't even know if I should even entertain the shit that you say sometimes because I think you're just trying to be funny. Because I know you're not stupid. I know you're not stupid. So it's just that, you know, that little snarky, I'm trying to be funny kind of shit. You know, I'm detecting. It's because, come on, man. You see, like they raised gas prices over the last what 3 4 weeks because of speculation that something could happen with it. There's been no change in the amount of oil that's been taken out of the earth. Right? There's been no change whatsoever. Even if there is problems in Libya, we don't get our oil from Libya. All right. So just in these little gambling motherfuckers' minds, they have raised the gas prices for no reason, just to screw you more. So that's what you'd rather have. You'd rather have that, right? Metaphysics. You'd rather have that. Right. Europe gets the diesel fuel from Libya, right? But they haven't really said that there's any problems with getting the fuel or anything like that. And all like these like when you see these foreign topics covered on the news, most of the time, like I've learned that over the years that those shits are really distractions from what's going on in this country. All right. When you see them covering the Libya conflict 24 hours a day, when you see them covering the Japanese earthquake and tsunami 24 hours a day, yes, that's information that we can know about, but you don't have to cover it 24 hours a day in opposition to everything that's going on in this country. That shit does not affect us in particular more than the stuff that's going on right in our own backyard. So when they put this 24-hour coverage up, that should be a freaking red flag to you that there's bullshit going on. There's not that much important information to come from Libya that they have to cover it for the 70% of the broadcast. It's not that much pressing shit, especially when you got like hundreds of thousands of people protesting out in Wisconsin over stuff that's going on in this country. That's the diversion tactic, you know? What? So we are helping out the countries who really owns the United States. Britain owns the United States. That's what Hillary is doing over there, even though there's other revolutions going on right next door. Right. I mean, there's conflicts going on in Mexico that are more pressing than the shit that's going on in Libya. Are you kidding me? Most of the people don't fully even know the scope of what's going on in Mexico. Mad people are getting killed over drugs and shit, like over this bullshit drug war. And really, it's because of the military industrial complex. Like, look, we like selling guns to these motherfuckers, so we want that shit to keep going on. You know, and this is the bullshit that we're fed every day, man. This is like I'm telling you, man. Like the path that America is on is really a, a, a basically it's like a failed America's like becoming a failed state, yo. If this is the best that we could do, like if this is the most advanced that we've ever been in our history, this is not it. The people that are at the top have no morals whatsoever. They're not to be trusted. You cannot trust anything that you see on the news and stuff. You can't trust any of it. You're being fed lies 24/7. Any of these things that they want you to be interested in, that's not what you should be interested in. Don't take anything that they're saying as true. Right. And I'm like, and see, now I've really gotten to the point where I include Alex Jones in that. You know what I mean? Because he tries to represent the underdog and the people that are against the establishment, but he's another freaking shill that's lying to you. He's another freaking shill, right? And think about it. This guy's from Texas. Like his biggest thing is, oh, the carbon taxes. They're gonna get us by carbon taxes and stuff. How come you end up being on the same side as the oil companies? Like on this particular issue, you're on actually the same side as the oil companies when it comes to that. So how's that possible? Right, 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 right. Yes, America is a failed state. America is a failed state. Like the things that the country promotes at the top is like if you look at like our society, they promote stupidity is held up in high esteem in this country. Like those are the people that get rewarded. The people that are acting just like buffoonish and clownish, not people that are uh, really into solving any type of problems. They don't prop those people up. They don't advance those kind of people. They buy them out. They buy them out and then destroy their message. All right. And then they prop up a bunch of buffoons. And then they make you think like, oh, it's good to have like Jackass 3D. That like they give those guys a lot of money. You know, Will Ferrell and stuff. Yeah, he's funny, he's a comedian, stuff like that. But to propel and to put on a pedestal these buffoons is it's an insult to intelligence and integrity, right? It's an insult to human character. That's why I say, man, like one of the last bastions of independent thought we had was hip hop, but the mainstream or the corporate culture, what they try to do is use acquisition and takeover and manipulation to destroy anything that's wholesome, and they try to drown it with the mainstream ideology. So they'll water it down, and then to try to instill a lot of mainstream values into whatever it is that's new that's coming out. Then the Congress, then the presidency. Yeah, I mean, and not to mention the fact that the president really has no power. The president is a figurehead at best. That's what KRS was saying in that Alex Jones piece. The president is not in control of shit. You think the people that's behind the scenes, like every 4 years, they give up power? You think that's what they do? You think the people that are the really wealthy social elite that uh, put their money into certain governors, into certain politicians, and buying like the lobbyists? You think the lobbyists give up their power every 4 years to some random motherfucker that comes in and they just start listening to a new person every 4 years? Hell no, they don't do that, man. Like KRS was saying, the president is like the manager of Burger King. He doesn't own shit when it comes to Burger King. He can't really do shit except about, he can, make sure the garbage is empty. He can make sure your fries aren't cold, give you some new fries and stuff like that. But if you wanted something to change at Burger King, like, yo, Burger King has a way of discriminating against all females and da da da. The manager of Burger King's not going to change that. The owner of Burger King's going to have to change that. And the manager is not the owner. His ass could get fired. In fact, he knows he's going to get fired. The most time he has is 8 years, and he's really up for scrutiny in 4 years. So he has to just kowtow and bow down to his people that put him there. And the real people that put him there are not the masses of people that said, I'm going to vote for you or gave him $10. Those are not the people that put him there. The real people that put him there are the people that have millions and billions of dollars, like the people his investors on Wall Street and stuff like that. Those are the people. And that's who they see, Bush and Obama. Yeah, yeah. Like they think, like I guess if what you're saying, Metaph, is that they see Obama and they think he's the leader. Yeah. Same thing with Burger King. The highest person that you've ever come in contact with at Burger King is like the manager. But guess what? He's not even necessarily the owner of that store. Do you actually see the owner of that particular uh, uh, outlet when you go there? No, that dude's somewhere, at his house or making money doing some other stuff. He just owns Burger King, all right? And he has a manager running it for him. But guess what? That manager does whatever the owner says. That's who pays his bills at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, is the owner, not him. And then the owner of that particular Burger King has to listen to the regional managers and all that stuff. They have to listen to the franchise directors, or else you can't put Burger King on the outside of that store. Like I have I know a guy that owns. Have you ever seen Rita's Ices? Like that's like a little chain. It's out here on the East Coast. I don't know if it's out on the West Coast, but they have it's called Rita's Ices. Like, and it's like Ices, and it's really like a seasonal kind of venue because it's only open like in the spring and the summer and a little bit into the fall. Then they close for the winter and all that stuff because it's Ices. They don't sell Ices in the winter. But one thing that he got mad at, like he bought into that franchise, but he's mad because they make him do a lot of stuff that he doesn't want to do. But he has to do it if he wants to keep readers on the outside of the building. Because like for instance, like they make him make every flavor that Rita's offers. They make him make that every day. Like you have to have all those flavors available every day. But he knows that in certain area, like in his particular area, like where I live, everybody don't buy all those flavors all the time. So it's like, why does he got to waste that stuff every day and throw his money down the drain? Well, that's because they have a policy that, look, if somebody comes from Rita's and they were a fan of Rita's in New York and they used to get coconut lemon with surprise or whatever, that better be available when they come to New Jersey. That's the way Rita's franchise think. They're like, look, we don't want none of our products changing. It's the same thing like with Burger King. You can own a Burger King, right? But you can't start changing up the menu, or else you're not going to be able to put Burger King on the outside of that thing anymore. All right. So it's like, everybody has their level of people that they have to kowtow to, you know. So that's why it's like when you go to Burger King, like in New Jersey, and then you go to Burger King in California, you have to get the same quality, the same food. So they can't have you putting Burger King on the outside of your restaurant, but then you selling tacos and shit. Like, nah, we just want to sell tacos here because we know we got a lot of people that like tacos and shit. So we came out with something else, the Burger King tacos. Like, no, 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 you can't do that. This is not your company. You're just renting. You're just franchising it. You can't change anything about the way we operate. And any manager that you get, or even if you own that particular restaurant, you can't do what you want to do if you want to keep calling it Burger King. And that's the same thing with the presidency in this country. Like, you can't just do what you want to do. You're the president, that don't mean nothing. You're the manager of Burger King, bro. Get in line and do what you're told. It's just that they don't talk about those people that are really in power. Now, I don't know if you know who the Koch brothers are, but they were brought up in that thing. So I'm trying to find my information on Haiti. Here it is. All right, here's some alternative energy sources that you might not be aware of. Here's one. Oh, here's the thing I was talking about right here. Here we go. This for you, metaphysics. Check this out.